Hanover traffic, Scandinavian 8802, taxiing to runway 27 right. Hanover traffic, Scandinavian 737 X-ray, taxiing to runway 27 right.
Hanover traffic, Scandinavian 737 heavy, taxiing to runway 27 right.
Hanover traffic, Scandinavian 737 X-ray, crossing runway 27 center. Hanover traffic, Scandinavian 8802, crossing runway 27, approaching runway 27 center. Entered runway 27 center.
Hanover traffic, Scandinavian 737 heavy, crossing runway 27 center.
Entered runway 27 center. Hanover traffic, Scandinavian 737 X-ray is taking off runway 27 right, departing north. Approaching runway 27 right. Entered runway 27 right. Hanover traffic, Scandinavian 8802 is taking off runway 27 right, remaining in the pattern.
Juliet 3 Romeo Delta.
Copenhagen Center, Scandinavian 7.
Speedbird 67, continue as filed. Expect the Isles approach runway 22 left at Castrop. Log 2137, radar contact.
Ostrichit 0965 is 5 nautical miles east of Kronstadt at 13,800 feet, requesting flight following to Malaga.
Roger, Speedbird 67.
Speedbird 5457 heavy, frequency change approved, good day.
Frequency change approved. Speedbird 5457 heavy, good day.
Ostrichit 0965, proceed on course to Malaga.
Proceed on course, Ostrichit 0965. Scandinavian 8802, requesting descent via Mona for Charlie arrival.
Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, turn left heading 040.
Copenhagen Center, Scandinavian 8802, with you at 23,000.
Scandinavian 8802, radar contact.
Copenhagen Center, Scandinavian 737 Heavy, with you at 23,000.
Speedbird 67, request frequency change.
Speedbird 67, stay on my frequency. Speedbird 67, descend and maintain 8,000.
Copenhagen Center, Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, with you at 16,500. Descend and maintain 8,000. Speedbird 67. Stand by, Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super.
FedEx 608, turn left heading 030.
Turn left heading 030, FedEx 608.
November 899 Alpha Kilo, contact Copenhagen approach on 119.8.
Contacting Copenhagen approach on 119.8, November 899 Alpha Kilo.
Scandinavian 737 Heavy, radar contact.
Scandinavian 737 Heavy is 8 nautical miles east of Seexdorf at 22,800 feet, requesting flight following to Castrop.
Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, turn left heading 090, descend and maintain 8,000.
Copenhagen Center, Delta 218 Heavy, with you at 41,000.
Scandinavian 737 Heavy, proceed on course to Castrop.
Proceed on course, Scandinavian 737 Heavy.
Delta 218 Heavy, radar contact.
Turn left heading 090, descend and maintain 8,000. Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super. Copenhagen Center, Easy 189 Victor Alpha, with you at 8,300.
Easy 189 Victor Alpha, radar contact.
Copenhagen Center, Red Nose 9 Yankee Bravo, with you at 6,500.
Red Nose 9 Yankee Bravo, radar contact.
Lot 2137, request frequency change.
Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy, turn left heading 100, descend and maintain 8,000.
Turn left heading 100, descend and maintain 8,000. Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy.
Log 2137, frequency change approved, good day.
Frequency change approved. Lot 2137, good day.
FedEx 608, descend and maintain 6,000. FedEx 608, turn right heading 040.
Descend and maintain 6,000. FedEx 608. Turn right heading 040. FedEx 608.
Air India 28 Flight of 4, frequency change approved, good day.
Frequency change approved. Air India 28 Flight of 4, good day. Air India 005 India November is 13 nautical miles southeast of Costa Vic at 15,600 feet, requesting ILS approach runway 22 left at Castrop.
Air India 005 India November, expect vectors for the ILS approach runway 22 left at Castrop.
Copenhagen Center, Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, with you at 9,000. Copenhagen Center, Viking 1703 Heavy, with you at 13,900.
Air India 005 India November, turn right heading 020, descend and maintain 8,000.
Copenhagen Center, Scandinavian 844 Oscar, with you at 37,000.
Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, radar contact.
Turn right heading 020, descend and maintain 8,000. Air India 005 India November.
Viking 1703 Heavy, radar contact.
Copenhagen Center, Scandinavian 984, with you at 29,000.
Viking 1703 Heavy, turn left heading 200, descend and maintain 8,000.
Turn left heading 200, descend and maintain 8,000. Viking 1703 Heavy.
Scandinavian 984, requesting descent via Erno November 1st arrival.
Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, turn left heading 040, descend and maintain 6,000.
Turn left heading 040, descend and maintain 6,000. Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super.
FedEx 608, contact Copenhagen approach on 119.8.
Contacting Copenhagen approach on 119.8. FedEx 608.
Scandinavian 844 Oscar, radar contact. Scandinavian 984, proceed as requested.
Descending via Erno November 1st arrival. Scandinavian 984.
Speedbird 67, request frequency change.
Air India 005 India November, turn left heading 350.
Turn left heading 350, Air India 005 India November.
Royal Flight 07 Super is 11 nautical miles southeast of Copenhagen Roskilde at 5,000 feet, flying VFR.
Royal Flight 07 Super, Roger, proceed on course.
Proceed on course. Royal Flight 07 Super. Qantas 95 Super is 7 nautical miles southwest of Castrop at 5,600 feet, flying VFR.
Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy, descend and maintain 6,000.
Descend and maintain 6,000. Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy.
Qantas 95 Super, Roger, proceed on course.
Proceed on course. Qantas 95 Super.
Scandinavian 778 is 15 nautical miles southeast of New Jellingsdorf at 28,400 feet, requesting ILS approach runway 22 left at Castrop.
Scandinavian 778, continue as filed, expect the ILS approach runway 22 left at Castrop.
Roger, Scandinavian 778.
Royal Flight 07 Super, requesting climb to 10,000. Thank you, good day, Qantas 95 Super. Copenhagen Center, Qantas 159, with you at 1,100.
Royal Flight 07 Super, altitude at your discretion. Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, contact Copenhagen approach on 119.8. Qantas 159, radar contact.
Contacting Copenhagen approach on 119.8, Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super.
Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy, turn left heading 040.
Turn left heading 040, Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy.
Viking 1703 Heavy, descend and maintain 6,000.
Descend and maintain 6,000, Viking 1703 Heavy.
Copenhagen Center, Warship 44, with you at 5,200.
Qantas 159, request frequency change.
Warship 44, radar contact. Qantas 159, stay on my frequency.
Copenhagen Center, Royal Flight 07 Super, with you at 5,800.
Qantas 159, continue as filed.
Continue as filed, Qantas 159.
Qantas 159, climb and maintain 5000.
Climb and maintain 5000. Qantas 159.
Air India 005 India November, descend and maintain 6000.
Copenhagen Center, Ryanair 503, with you at 4100.
Royal Flight 07 Super, radar contact.
Descend and maintain 6000. Air India 005 India November.
Ryanair 503, radar contact. Ryanair 503, climb and maintain 7000.
Climb and maintain 7000. Ryanair 503.
Scandinavian 737 X-ray, contact Copenhagen approach on 119.8. Scandinavian 8802, contact Copenhagen.
Contacting Copenhagen approach on 119.8. Scandinavian 737 X-ray. Contacting Copenhagen Center on 127. Copenhagen approach. Scandinavian 737 X-ray, with you at 12,000. Scandinavian 737 X-ray, radar contact. Reduce speed to 200 knots. Scandinavian 2778. FedEx 608, reduce speed to 170 knots. Copenhagen approach. Scandinavian 8802, with you at 13,400.
Reduce speed to 170 knots. FedEx 608.
Scandinavian 2778, turn left heading 300. Turn left heading 300. Scandinavian 2778. Scandinavian 8802, radar contact. Copenhagen approach. Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy, with you at 6000. Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy, radar contact. Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy is 7 nautical miles east of Malov at 6,000 feet, requesting ILS approach any runway of Kastrup. Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy, expect vectors for the ILS approach runway 22 left at Kastrup. Roger, Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy.
Copenhagen approach. Speedbird 67, with you at 8000.
Swiss 4263, reduce speed to 200 knots. FedEx 608, turn left heading 080. Reduce speed to 200 knots. Swiss 4263.
Turn left heading 080. FedEx 608.
Swiss 4263, turn left heading 300. Turn left heading 300. Swiss 4263. Speedbird 67, radar contact. Greenland 4 Foxtrot Alpha, contact Kastrup traffic on 122.8. Contacting Kastrup traffic on 122.8, Greenland 4 Foxtrot Alpha. FedEx 608, turn right heading 190, maintain 5000, maintain 5000.
Turn right heading 1.
Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, turn left heading 0. Scandinavian 737 X-ray. Turn right heading 040, descend and maintain 6000. Scandinavian 737 X-ray. Swiss 4263, descend and maintain 4000. Descend and maintain 4000. Swiss 4263. Air India 005 India November, expect vectors for the ILS approach runway 22 left at Kastrup.
Copenhagen approach. Scandinavian 737 Heavy, with you at 18,100.
Roger, Air India 005 India November. Scandinavian 737 Heavy, radar contact.
Scandinavian 737 Heavy is 11 nautical miles northeast of Kostavik at 17,600 feet, requesting flight following to Kastrup.
Speedbird 67, requesting descent to 4000. Copenhagen approach. Viking 1703 Heavy, with you at 6000.
Scandinavian 737 Heavy, expect vectors for the ILS approach runway 22 left at Kastrup. Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, turn right heading 030.
Roger, Scandinavian 737 Heavy.
Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy, turn left heading 040. Turn left heading 040, Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy. Swiss 4263, turn left heading 190, descend and maintain 4000, maintain 4000 until established on the localizer, clear dials runway 22 left approach. Scandinavian 737 X-ray, expect vectors for the ILS approach. Roger, Scandinavian 737 X-ray.
Speedbird 67, requesting descent to 4000.
Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, reduce speed to 200 knots. Speedbird 67, avoid sending duplicate messages. Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy, please follow instructions or you will be reported.
I'm sorry, Speedbird 67. Reduce speed to 200 knots. Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super.
Swiss 4263, maintain 170 knots until 5 mile final. Scandinavian 2778, maintain 170 knots until 5 mile final. Scandinavian 737 X-Ray, reduce speed to 200 knots. Reduce speed to 200 knots. Scandinavian 737 X-Ray. Scandinavian 737 X-Ray, descend and maintain 5000. Descend and maintain 5000. Scandinavian 737 X-Ray. Roger. Scandinavian 8802. FedEx 608, maintain 170 knots until 5 mile final.
Maintain 170 knots until 5 mile final. FedEx 608.
FedEx 608, contact Kastrup Tower on 118.1. Scandinavian 8802, reduce speed to 200 knots.
Contacting Kastrup Tower on 118.1. FedEx 608.
Reduce speed to 200 knots. Scandinavian 8802. Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy, turn right heading 120. Viking 1703 Heavy, turn left heading 020. Turn right heading 120. Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy.
Royal Flight 07 Super, requesting to divert to Kastrup.
Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, turn left heading 250, maintain 5000 until established on the localizer, clear dials runway 22 left approach.
Turn left heading 020, Viking 1703 Heavy. Turn left heading 250, maintain 5000 until established on the localizer, clear dials runway 22 left. Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super.
Royal Flight 07 Super, diversion approved, expect vectors to Kastrup.
Roger, Royal Flight 07 Super.
Air India 005 India November, descend and maintain 3000. Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, maintain 160 knots until 4 mile final. Descend and maintain 3000. Air India 005 India November. Swiss 4263, contact Kastrup Tower on 118.1.
Maintain 160 knots until 4 mile final. Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super.
Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy, turn right heading 190, maintain 5000 until established on the localizer, clear dials runway 22 left approach. Scandinavian 737 X-Ray, turn left heading 030. Scandinavian 737 X-Ray. Scandinavian 8802, turn left heading 030. Viking 1703 Heavy, please follow instructions or you will be reported. Viking 1703 Heavy, disregard last message. Turn left heading 030. Scandinavian 8802.
Copenhagen approach. Speedbird 67, with you at 8000.
Viking 1703 Heavy, turn right heading 120, maintain 6000. Speedbird 67, radar contact.
Turn right heading 120, maintain 6000. Viking 1703 Heavy.
Royal Flight 07 Super, turn left heading 040, descend and maintain 6000.
Copenhagen approach. Royal Flight 07 Super, with you at 8000.
Air India 005 India November, turn left heading 310. Scandinavian 737 X-Ray, turn left heading 300. Scandinavian 737 X-Ray. Viking 1703 Heavy, turn right heading 190, maintain 6000 until established on the localizer, clear dials runway 22 left approach.
Turn right heading 190, maintain 6000 until established on the localizer, clear dials runway 22 left. Viking 1703 Heavy.
Speedbird 67, reduce speed to 200 knots.
Reduce speed to 200 knots. Speedbird 67.
Scandinavian 737 Heavy, turn right heading 030, descend and maintain 6000. Air India 005 India November, turn left heading 250, maintain 3000 until established on the localizer, clear dials runway 22 left approach. Scandinavian 778 is 12 nautical miles west of Velling to 10,900 feet, requesting ILS approach runway 22 left at Kastrup. Royal Flight 07 Super, reduce speed to 200 knots.
Reduce speed to 200 knots. Royal Flight 07 Super.
Royal Flight 07 Super, expect vectors for the Isles approach runway 22 left at Kastrup. Scandinavian 778, expect vectors for the Isles approach runway 22 left at Kastrup.
Turn right heading 030, descend and maintain 6000, Scandinavian 737 Heavy.
Roger, Royal Flight 07 Super.
Roger, Scandinavian 778.
Viking 1703 Heavy, maintain. Scandinavian 737 X-Ray, turn left heading 250, maintain 5000 until
Turn left heading 250, maintain 5000 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS runway 22 left, Scandinavian 737 X-Ray.
Scandinavian 984, radar contact. Scandinavian 984, expect vectors for the Isles approach runway 22 left at Kastrup. Scandinavian 737 Heavy, expect vectors for the Isles approach runway 22 left at Kastrup.
Roger, Scandinavian 984.
Scandinavian 8802, turn left heading 290.
Roger, Scandinavian 737 Heavy.
Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, cleared Isles runway 22 left approach. Air India 005 India November, contact Kastrup Tower on 118.1.
Turn left heading 290, Scandinavian 8802.
Maintain current altitude until established on the
Scandinavian 737 X-Ray, maintain 170 knots until 5 mile final.
Maintain 170 knots until 5 mile final, Scandinavian 737 X-Ray.
Scandinavian 737 Heavy, please follow instructions or you will be reported. Scandinavian 8802, turn left heading 250, maintain 6000 until established on the localizer, cleared Isles runway 22 left approach.
The Shuttle 716 is 13 nautical miles south of or upward at 18,800 feet, requesting Isles approach runway 22 left at Kastrup.
I'm sorry, Scandinavian 737 Heavy.
Turn left heading 250, maintain 6000 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS runway 22 left, Scandinavian 8802. Roger, Philippines 4 Tango X-Ray Heavy.
Copenhagen approach, Scandinavian 844 Oscar, review at 7,000.
Scandinavian 844 Oscar, radar contact.
Turn left heading 320, descend and maintain 5000, Philippines 4 Tango X-Ray Heavy. Contacting Kastrup Tower on 118.1, Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy.
Royal Flight 07 Super, turn right heading 130.
Turn right heading 130, Royal Flight 07 Super.
Scandinavian 778, turn left heading 030, descend and maintain 5000. Scandinavian 778, reduce speed to 200 knots.
Reduce speed to 200 knots, Scandinavian 778.
Viking 1703 Heavy, contact Kastrup Tower on 118.1.
Contacting Kastrup Tower on 118.1, Viking 1703 Heavy.
Speedbird 67, turn right heading 120, descend and maintain 6000.
Turn right heading 120, descend and maintain 6000, Speedbird 67. Turn right heading 190, maintain 6000 until established on the localizer. Cleared Isles runway 22 left, Royal Flight 07 Super.
Increase speed to 200 knots, Scandinavian 8802. Copenhagen approach, Scandinavian 920 Heavy, with you at 6000.
Scandinavian 920 Heavy, radar contact.
Scandinavian 920 Heavy is 4 nautical miles north of Bellinge at 6,000 feet, requesting ILS approach any runway at Kastrup.
Scandinavian 844 Oscar, reduce speed to 200 knots. Royal Flight 07 Super, maintain 160 knots until 4 mile final. Scandinavian 844 Oscar, descend and maintain 3000.
Maintain 160 knots until 4 mile final, Royal Flight 07 Super. Descend and maintain 3000, Scandinavian 844 Oscar.
Scandinavian 920 Heavy, expect vectors for the Isles approach runway 22 right at Kastrup. Scandinavian 778, turn right heading 060.
Turn right heading 060, Scandinavian 778.
Scandinavian 844 Oscar, please expedite altitude change. Philippines 4 Tango X-Ray Heavy, turn right heading 360, descend and maintain 3000.
Turn right heading 360, descend and maintain 3000, Philippines 4 Tango X-Ray Heavy.
Scandinavian 844 Oscar, turn right heading 120, descend and maintain 2000. Scandinavian 8802, expect vectors for the Isles approach runway 22 right at Kastrup.
Turn right heading 120, descend and maintain 2000, Scandinavian 844 Oscar.
Roger, Scandinavian 8802.
Royal Flight 07 Super, turn right heading 250, maintain 6000 until established on the localizer, clear dials runway 22 left approach.
Turn right heading 250, maintain 6000 until established on the localizer, clear dials runway 22 left, Royal Flight 07 Super.
Scandinavian 778, turn left heading 030. Scandinavian 984, turn right heading 130.
Turn right heading 130, Scandinavian 984. Turn left heading 300, descend and maintain 5000, Scandinavian 920 Heavy.
Philippines 4 Tango X-Ray Heavy, turn right heading 030.
Turn right heading 030, Philippines 4 Tango X-Ray Heavy.
Royal Flight 07 Super, maintain 180 knots until 6 mile final.
Maintain 180 knots until 6 mile final, Royal Flight 07 Super.
Scandinavian 8802, please follow instructions. Royal Flight 07 Super, please follow instructions.
Thank you, Scandinavian 737 Heavy.
Royal Flight 07 Super, turn left heading 190, maintain 6000 until established on the localizer, clear dials runway 22 left approach.
I'm sorry, Scandinavian 880.
Scandinavian 737 X-Ray, contact Castruck Tower on 118.1.
Contacting Castruck Tower on 118.1, Scandinavian 737 X-Ray. Castruck Tower, Scandinavian 737 X-Ray is 10 nautical miles to the northeast at 2,400 feet. Inbound. Scandinavian 737 X-Ray, wind 240 at 8, number 3, runway 22 left, clear to land. Number 3, clear to land, runway 22 left, Scandinavian 737 X-Ray. Going around, Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy. Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy, roger, fly runway heading runway 22 left. Qatari 777, contact Copenhagen Center on 127.0.
Castruck Tower, Scandinavian 844 Oscar, inbound on the ILS runway 22 right.
Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, exit runway when able, contact ground on the taxiway.
Contacting Copenhagen Center on 127.0, Qatari 777.
Roger, Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy.
Wilco, Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super.
Castruck Tower, Lima Victor Mike Delta Bravo, ready for departure at runway 22 right, departing west.
Castruck Tower, Qantas 16 Heavy, ready for departure in sequence at runway 22 right, departing straight out. I'm sorry, Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super.
Scandinavian 844 Oscar, wind 240 at 8, number 1, runway 22 right, clear to land.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 22 right, Qantas 16 Heavy.
Lufthansa 2447 Super, contact Copenhagen Center on 127.0. Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy, contact Copenhagen approach on 119.8. Contacting Copenhagen approach on 119.8, Juliet 3 Romeo Delta November Heavy. Castruck Tower, Scandinavian 8802 is 10 nautical miles to the northeast at 3,900 feet, inbound for landing. Castruck Tower, Indonesia 698, ready for departure at runway 22 left, remaining in the pattern. Scandinavian 8802, wind 240 at 8, number 2, runway 22 right, clear to land. Viking 1703 Heavy, exit runway when able, contact ground on the taxiway. Number 2, clear to land, runway 22 right, Scandinavian 8802. Indonesia 698, hold short of runway 22 right.
Wilco, Viking 1703 Heavy.
Holding short runway 22 right, Indonesia 698. Qantas 16 Heavy, contact Copenhagen Center on 127.0.
Contacting Copenhagen Center on 127.0, Qantas 16 Heavy. Castruck Tower, Speedbird 67, inbound on the ILS runway 22 left.
800.
Speedbird 67, wind 240 at 8, number 2, runway 22 left, cleared to land.
Number 2, cleared to land, runway 22 left, Speedbird 67.
Castro Tower, Indonesia 698, ready for departure at runway 22 right, departing straight on.
20. 10.
Castro Tower, Philippines 4 Tango X-ray Heavy, inbound on the ILS runway 22 right. Philippines 4 Tango X-ray Heavy, wind 240 at 8, number 3, runway 22 right, clear to land. Number 3, clear to land, runway 22 right, Philippines 4 Tango X-ray Heavy. Castro Tower, Scandinavian 98, Scandinavian 737 X-ray, exit runway when able, contact ground on the taxiway. Castro Tower, Wilco, Scandinavian 737 X-ray. Number 2, cleared to land, runway 22 left, Scandinavian 984. Indonesia 698, line up and wait runway 2.
Contacting Castro Tower on 118.1, FedEx 608. Oscar Kilo Lima Alpha X-ray, request frequency change.
Castro ground, November 309 Echo Foxtrot, ready to taxi to runway 22 right with information Delta. Oscar Kilo Lima Alpha X-ray. Castro ground, Scandinavian 737 X-ray, request taxi to parking. Castro ground, November 355 Zulu Charlie Heavy, ready to taxi with information Delta. November 309 Echo Foxtrot, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 1230. Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230, November 309 Echo Foxtrot. French West 109 Heavy, pushback approved, tail to the north.
Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super, request permission to cross runway 30.
Pushback approved, tail to the north, French West 109 Heavy.
November 355 Zulu Charlie Heavy, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 1230.
Castro ground.
Scandinavian 737 X-ray, taxi to Terminal 3F4, hold short of 1230. Taxiing to Terminal 3F4, will hold short of 1230, Scandinavian 737 X-ray.
Viking 1703 Heavy, request permission to cross runway 30.
Castro ground, Foxtrot Alpha Hotel Mike Yankee, ready for pushback with information Charlie, requesting runway 22 right. Scandinavian 913, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 1230.
Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230, Scandinavian 913. Stand by, Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super.
Scandinavian 913, cross runway 30.
Stand by, Shuttle 522 November Romeo Super.
November 355 Zulu Charlie Heavy, request permission to cross runway 12.
Crossing runway 30, Scandinavian 913. Castro ground, Scandinavian 844 Oscar, request taxi to A25 at the Terminal 1.
November 355 Zulu Charlie Heavy, cross runway 30. Crossing runway 30, November 355 Zulu Charlie Heavy.
Thank you, good day, Air France 116 Alpha Kilo.
Stand by, French West 109 Heavy.
Viking 1703 Heavy, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, Viking 1703 Heavy.
Foxtrot Alpha Hotel Mike Yankee, pushback approved, tail to the north. Pushback approved, tail to the north, Foxtrot Alpha Hotel Mike Yankee. Scandinavian 737 X-ray, request permission to cross runway 30. Approaching runway 1230. Scandinavian 737 X-ray, cross runway 3, crossing runway 30, Scandinavian 737 X-ray. Entered runway 1230.
Castro ground, French West 109 Heavy, ready to taxi with information Delta.
Viking 1703 Heavy, give way to aircraft ahead.
Castro ground, French West 109 Heavy, ready to taxi to runway 22 right with information Delta.
United 012, pushback approved, tail to the south.
Give way to aircraft, Viking 1703 Heavy. Pushback approved, tail to the south, United 012.
French West 109 Heavy, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 1230.
Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 12230, French West 109 heavy.
Tango Charlie Yankee November Sierra Heavy, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 1230. November 309 Echo Foxtrot, request permission to cross runway 12. November 309 Echo Foxtrot, cross runway 12. Crossing runway 12, November 309 Echo Foxtrot.
Castrop ground, Viking 1703 heavy, request taxi to B17 at the Terminal 2.
Viking 1703 Heavy, taxi to Terminal 2 B17 via Papa.
Taxiing to Terminal 2 B17 via Papa, Viking 1703 heavy. Castrop ground, Scandinavian 844 Oscar, request taxi to H104 at the Terminal 3. Scandinavian 913, request permission to cross runway 30.
Scandinavian 844 Oscar, taxi to Terminal 3 H104, hold short of 1230.
Taxiing to Terminal 3 H104, will hold short of 1230, Scandinavian 844 Oscar. Castrop ground, Speedbird 67, request taxi to C36 at the Terminal 3.
Scandinavian 913, you were already instructed to cross the runway. Castrop ground, Nor Shuttle 3670, ready for pushback with information Delta.
Roger, Scandinavian 913.
Speedbird 67, taxi to Terminal 3 C36, hold short of 1230.
Taxiing to Terminal 3 C36, will hold short of 1230, Speedbird 67.
Nor Shuttle 3670, pushback approved, tail to the north. Pushback approved, tail to the north, Nor Shuttle 3670. French West 109 Heavy, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, French West 109 heavy.
Castrop ground, United 012, ready to taxi with information Delta.
United 012, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 1230.
Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230, United 012. Castrop ground, Anatolian 409, ready for pushback with information Delta.
United 012, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, United 012.
Anatolian 409, pushback approved, tail to the north.
Pushback approved, tail to the north, Anatolian 409.
Speedbird 67, cross runway 30. Castrop ground,
Crossing runway 30, Speedbird 67.
Scandinavian 163, contact Kastrup Tower on 118.1. Contacting Kastrup Tower on 118.1, Scandinavian 163. Kastrup ground, green 1781, ready to taxi to runway. Kastrup ground, Scandinavian 737 X-ray, ready for pushback. Kastrup ground, Scandinavian 8802, ready to taxi with information Delta.
Kastrup ground, Moxie.
Scandinavian 737 X-ray, hold position. Scandinavian 8, holding position. Scandinavian 737 X-ray. Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230. Scandinavian 8802. Virgin 736, cross runway 30. Crossing runway 30, Virgin 736. Green 1781, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 1230. Kastrup ground, Warship 44, request taxi to A15 at the Terminal 2. Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230, Green 1781. Moxie 7 X-ray, taxi to Terminal 3D2, hold short of 1230.
Taxiing to Terminal 3D2, will hold short of 1230, Moxie 7 X-ray.
Moxie 7 X-ray, cross runway 30.
Kastrup ground, Ryan 76 Sierra, ready for pushback with information Delta.
Scandinavian 737 X-ray, pushback approved, tail to the east. Pushback approved, tail to the east. Scandinavian 737 X-ray. Ryanair 76 Sierra, pushback approved, tail to the north.
Pushback approved, tail to the north, Ryan 76 Sierra.
November 309 Echo Foxtrot, request frequency change. Sunter 218, cross runway 30.
Kastrup ground, Scandinavian 737 Heavy, ready for pushback with information Delta.
Pushback approved, tail to the north, green 1286.
Thank you, good day, Delta 218 Heavy.
Crossing runway 30, Sunter 218.
Kastrup ground, Viper 1, ready to taxi with information Delta.
Kastrup ground, Alpine 2 Lima Charlie, ready for pushback with information Delta, requesting runway 22 left. Scandinavian 737 Heavy, hold position.
Holding position, Scandinavian 737 Heavy.
Viper 1, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 1230.
Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230, Viper 1.
Alpine 2 Lima Charlie, pushback approved, tail to the east. Pushback approved, tail to the east, Alpine 2 Lima Charlie. November 309 Echo Foxtrot, request frequency change. November 309 Echo Foxtrot, contact Kastrup Tower on 118.1. Contacting Kastrup Tower on 118.1, November 309 Echo Foxtrot.
Kastrup ground, Ryan 76 Sierra, ready to taxi with information Delta.
Ryanair 76 Sierra, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 1230.
Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 12230, Ryan 76 Sierra. Thank you, Ryan 76 Sierra.
Scandinavian 8802, request permission to cross runway 30. Attention all aircraft, please stand by, controller changes in progress. Kastrup ground, Scandinavian 931 Heavy, ready for pushback with information Delta. Castrop ground. Scandinavian 737 X-ray, ready to taxi. Scandinavian 8802, request permission to cross runway 12. Castrop ground. Alpine 2 Lima Charlie, ready to taxi to runway 22 left with information Delta. Castrop ground. Norship 44, request taxi to A17 at the Terminal 2. Castrop ground. Shuttle 880, request taxi to parking. Green 1781, request permission to cross runway 12.
Castrop ground. Singapore 353, ready for pushback with information Delta.
Shuttle 880, taxi to parking, at your discretion.
Taxi to parking. Shuttle 880.
Norship 44, taxi to Terminal 2A17 via Bravo, Yankee, hold short of 12230.
Anatolian 409, request permission to cross runway 30.
Taxiing to Terminal 2A17 via Bravo, Yankee, will hold short of 1230, Norship 44.
Greenland 781, cross runway 30. Scandinavian 8802, cross runway 30.
Castrop ground. Scandinavian 920 Heavy, request taxi to C37 at the Terminal 3. Crossing runway 30, Scandinavian 8802. Crossing runway 30, Green 1781.
Anatolian 409, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, Anatolian 409.
Suntrip 218, request frequency change. Castrop ground. Alpine 2 Lima Charlie, ready to taxi to runway 22 left with information Delta.
Alpine 2 Lima Charlie, taxi to runway 30, hold short of 4 right 22 left.
Shuttle 880, request permission to cross runway 12. Taxiing to runway 30, will hold short of 4 right 22 left, Alpine 2 Lima Charlie. Castrop ground. Scandinavian 904, request taxi to C35 at the Terminal 3.
Sunter 218, contact Castrop Tower on 118.1.
Castrop ground. Green 1286, ready to taxi to runway 22 right with information Delta. Crossing runway 30, Shuttle 880.
Scandinavian 737 X-ray, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 12230.
Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230, Scandinavian 737 X-ray.
Scandinavian 920 Heavy, cross runway 30.
Castrop ground. Scandinavian 931 Heavy, ready to taxi with information Delta. Crossing runway 30, Scandinavian 920 Heavy.
Golf Whiskey November Golf Oscar, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 12230.
Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230, Golf Whiskey November Golf Oscar.
Viper 1, request permission to cross runway 30.
Viper 1, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, Viper 1.
Scandinavian 931 Heavy, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 12230. Castrop ground. Scandinavian 737 Heavy, ready to taxi to runway 22. Scandinavian 737 X-ray, correction, stand by. Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 12230. Scandinavian 737 X-ray, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 12230.
Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230, Scandinavian 737 X-ray. Pushback approved, tail to the north, Speedbird 821 Heavy.
United 012, contact Castrop Tower on 118.1.
Contacting Castrop Tower on 118.1, United 012.
Virgin 736, give way to aircraft on your left.
Give way to aircraft, Virgin 736.
Viper 1, give way to aircraft on your right.
Castrop ground. Cathay 733, request taxi to C32 at the Terminal 3. Give way to aircraft, Viper 1.
Scandinavian 920 Heavy, give way to aircraft ahead.
Give way to aircraft, Scandinavian 920 Heavy.
Scandinavian 920 Heavy, hold position.
Holding position, Scandinavian 920 Heavy. Green 1286, request permission to cross runway 30.
Cathay 733, taxi to Terminal 3C32 via Bravo, Yankee, hold short of 12230. Greenland 286, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, Green 1286.
Taxiing to Terminal 3C32 via Bravo, Yankee, will hold short of 1230, Cathay 733.
Cast drop ground. Longship 53 Heavy. Request taxi to E22 at the Terminal 3.
Cast drop ground. Singapore 353. Ready to taxi to runway 22 right with information Delta. Cathay 733. Request permission to cross runway 12.
Cathay 733, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30. Cathay 733.
Cast drop ground. Speedbird 821 Heavy. Ready to taxi with information Delta.
Speedbird 821 Heavy, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 12230. Singapore 353, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 12230.
Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230. Speedbird 821 Heavy.
Scandinavian 737 Heavy, give way to aircraft on your right.
Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230. Singapore 353.
Give way to aircraft, Scandinavian 737 Heavy. Longship 53 Heavy, taxi to Terminal 3 E22, hold short of 12230.
Alpine 2 Lima Charlie, request frequency change. Taxiing to Terminal 3 E22, will hold short of 1230. Longship 53 Heavy.
Alpine to Lima Charlie, contact Castro Tower on 118.1.
Contacting Castro Tower on 118.1, Alpine 2 Lima Charlie. Speedbird 821 Heavy, request permission to cross runway 12.
Scandinavian 920 Heavy, hold position.
Holding position, Scandinavian 920 Heavy.
Speedbird 821 Heavy, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, Speedbird 821 Heavy. Green 1286, request frequency change.
Greenland 286, give way to aircraft on your left.
Longship 53 Heavy, request permission to cross runway 30. Give way to aircraft, Green 1286.
Greenland 286, contact Castro Tower on 118.1. Scandinavian 8802, continue taxi.
Contacting Castro Tower on 118.1, Green 1286. Continue taxi, Scandinavian 8802.
Longship 53 Heavy, hold short of runway 30.
Hold short of runway 30, Longship 53 Heavy. Thank you, good day, Scandinavian 8802. Scandinavian 931 Heavy, request permission to cross runway 12.
Scandinavian 931 Heavy, hold short of runway 30.
Hold short of runway 30, Scandinavian 931 Heavy. Speedbird 821 Heavy, request frequency change.
Castro ground, Anatolian 409, ready for pushback.
Thank you, Green 1781.
Anatolian 409, pushback approved, tail to the north.
Pushback approved, tail to the north, Anatolian 409.
Ryan 76 Sierra, give way to aircraft on your right. Give way to aircraft, Ryan 76 Sierra. Speedbird 821 Heavy, contact Castro Tower on 118.1.
Contacting Castro Tower on 118.1, Speedbird 821 Heavy.
Longship 53 Heavy, cross runway 30. Scandinavian 931 Heavy, cross runway. Scandinavian 737 X-ray, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, Scandinavian 737 X-ray.
Golf Whiskey November Golf Oscar, cross runway 30. Singapore 353, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, Golf Whiskey November Golf Oscar.
Crossing runway 30, Singapore 353.
Cast drop ground. Approaching runway 1230.
Norship 589 Romeo Alpha, taxi to Scandinavian 920 Heavy, continue taxi.
Taxiing to Terminal 2A8, will hold short of 1230, Norship 589 Romeo Alpha. Continue entered runway 1230. Cast drop ground, Norship 174, ready for pushback with information Delta.
Norship 174, pushback approved, tail to the north.
Pushback approved, tail to the north, Norship 174.
Scandinavian 8802, contact Castro Tower on 118.1.
Castro ground, Anatolian 409, ready to taxi.
Contacting Castro Tower on 118.1, Scandinavian 8802.
Anatolian 409, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 12230.
Cast drop ground, Viking 1195, request taxi to H105 at the Terminal 3.
Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230, Anatolian 409.
Norship 589 Romeo Alpha, request permission to cross runway 30.
Viking 1195, taxi to Terminal 3 H105, hold short of 12230. Norship 589 Romeo Alpha, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, Norship 589 Romeo Alpha. Taxiing to Terminal 3 H105, will hold short of 1230, Viking 1195.
Anatolian 409, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, Anatolian 409. Viper 1, request frequency change.
Viper 1, contact Castro Tower on 118.1.
Cast drop ground, Green 1781 Heavy, ready for pushback with information Delta, requesting runway 22 right.
Contacting Castro Tower on 118.1, Viper 1. Thank you, good day, Viper 1.
Viking 1195, request permission to cross runway 30.
Viking 1195, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, Viking 1195.
Scandinavian 931 Heavy, give way to aircraft on your right.
Give way to aircraft, Scandinavian 931 Heavy.
Singapore 353, request permission to cross runway 30.
Greenland 781 Heavy, pushback approved, tail to the east.
Pushback approved, tail to the east, Green 1781 Heavy.
Singapore 353, you were already instructed to cross the runway.
Cast drop ground, Emirates 334, ready for pushback with information Delta.
Roger, Singapore 353. Anatolian 409, request frequency change.
Emirates 334, pushback approved, tail to the west.
Pushback approved, tail to the west, Emirates 334.
Anatolian 409, give way to aircraft on your left.
Give way to aircraft, Anatolian 409.
Anatolian 409, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Anatolian 409.
Cast drop ground, Norship 174, ready to taxi with information Delta.
Anatolian 409, contact Castro Tower on 118.1.
Contacting Castro Tower on 118.1, Anatolian 409.
Norship 174, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 12230.
Thank you, good day, Anatolian 409.
Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230, Norship 174. Cast drop ground, Speedbird.
Speedbird 269 Heavy, pushback approved, tail to the north.
Castro ground, Air China 878 Heavy, ready for pushback, requesting runway 22 right.
Pushback approved, tail to the north. Speedbird 269 heavy. Cast drop ground, Greenland 781 heavy, ready to taxi to runway 22 right with information Delta.
Greenland 781 heavy, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 12230.
Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 1230, Greenland 781 heavy.
Air China 878 heavy, hold position.
Holding position, Air China 878 heavy. Cast drop ground, request taxi for H105 at the Terminal 3.
Cast drop ground, Emirates 334, ready to taxi with information Delta.
Taxi to Terminal 3 H105, hold short of 12230. Emirates 334, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 12230.
Taxiing to Terminal 3 H105, will hold short of 1230.
Greenland 781 heavy, request permission to cross runway 30.
Greenland 781 heavy, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, Greenland 781 heavy. Norship 174, request permission to cross runway 12.
Norship 174, cross runway 30.
Crossing runway 30, Norship 174.
Cast drop ground, Thai 951 heavy, ready for pushback with information Delta.
Air China 878 heavy, pushback approved, tail to the north. Thai 951 heavy, hold position.
Pushback approved, tail to the north, Air China 878 heavy. Holding position, Thai 951 heavy.
Cast drop ground, Speedbird 269 heavy, ready to taxi with information Delta. Cast drop ground, Dreamjet 79.
Speedbird 269 heavy, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 12230.
Cast drop tower, Scandinavian 931 heavy, ready for departure at runway 22 right, departing north. Viper 1, frequency change approved, good day.
Frequency change approved Viper 1, good day.
Castro Tower, Qatari 308 Alpha Delta is 6 nautical miles to the northeast at 1,300 feet, inbound for landing.
Qatari 308 Alpha Delta, wind 230 at 10, number 2, runway 22 left, cleared to land.
Number 2, cleared to land, runway 22 left, Qatari 308 Alpha Delta.
Scandinavian 931 heavy, wind 230 at 10, runway 22 right, cleared for takeoff. Cleared for takeoff, runway 22 right, Scandinavian 931 heavy. Anatolian 409, frequency change approved. Castro Tower, Iberia 552, inbound on the ILS runway 22 left.
Frequency change approved Anatolian 409.
Approaching runway 22 right. Castro Tower, Scandinavian 737 X-ray, ready for departure at runway 22 right, departing north.
Castro Tower, Qatari 308 Alpha Delta is 3 nautical miles to the northeast at 500 feet, inbound for landing.
Qatari 308 Alpha, Scandinavian 737 X-ray, wind 230 at 10. Cleared for takeoff, runway 22 right. Approaching runway 22 right. Entered runway 22 right. Frequency change approved Scandinavian 931 heavy, good day. Thank you, good day, Scandinavian 931 heavy. Scandinavian 737 heavy, wind 230 at 10, runway 22 right, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 22 right, Scandinavian 737 heavy. Wilco, Qatari 308.
Frequency change approved Scandinavian 737 X-ray, good day. Scandinavian 737 Heavy, please follow instructions or you will be reported. Göteborg Stallbacka traffic. Scandinavian 737 X-ray is 10 nautical miles to the southwest at 5,800 feet. Inbound for landing. Will make right traffic for runway 15. Göteborg Stallbacka traffic. Scandinavian 8802 is 10 nautical miles to the northwest at 3,100 feet. Inbound for landing. Will make straight in for runway 15.
$2,500.
Göteborg Stallbacka traffic. Scandinavian 737 X-ray is on final. Runway 15. Göteborg Stallbacka traffic. Scandinavian 8802 is clear of all runways. Göteborg Stallbacka traffic. Golf Whiskey November Golf Oscar is 10 nautical miles to the southwest at 6,000 feet, inbound for landing. Will make right traffic for runway 15.
$500, $400, $300, $200, $100, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Göteborg Stallbacka traffic. Golf Whiskey November Golf Oscar is on right base. Runway 15. Göteborg Stallbacka traffic. Scandinavian 737 X-ray is clear of all runways. Göteborg Stallbacka traffic. Golf Whiskey November Golf Oscar is on final. Runway 15. Göteborg Staubacka traffic, Golf Whiskey November Golf Oscar is clear of all runways. Leopard 67, wind 240 at 8, number 2, runway 22 left, clear to land. Philippines 4 Tango X-ray heavy, inbound on the ILS runway 22 right. Philippines 4 Tango X-ray heavy, wind 240 at 8, number 3, runway 22 right, clear to land. Number 3, clear to land, runway 22 right, Philippines 4 Tango X-ray heavy. Scandinavian 984, inbound on the ILS runway 22 left. Scandinavian 737 X-ray, exit runway when able, contact ground on the taxiway. Indonesia 698, ready for departure at runway 22 right, remaining in the pattern. Scandinavian 984, wind 240 at 8, number 2, runway 22 left, clear to land. Wilco, Scandinavian 737 X-ray. Number 2, clear to land, runway 22 left, Scandinavian 984. Indonesia 698, line up and wait runway 22 right.
Contacting Castrop Tower on 118.1, FedEx 608. Oscar Kilo Lima Alpha X-ray, request frequency change.
November 309 Echo Foxtrot, ready to taxi to runway 22 right with information Delta. Oscar Kilo Lima Alpha X-ray, contact Castrop Tower on 118.1.
Contacting Castrop Tower on 118.1, Oscar Kilo Lima Alpha X-ray.
French West 109 Heavy, ready for pushback with information Delta, requesting runway 22 right.
November 309 Echo Foxtrot, contact Castrop Tower on 118.1. Scandinavian 737 Heavy, wind 230 at 10, runway 22 right, cleared for takeoff. Scandinavian 737 X-ray, frequency change approved, good day.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 22 right, Scandinavian 737 Heavy, Wilco, Category 308 Alpha Delta.
Gutterbubs Taubaca traffic, Golf Whiskey November Golf Oscar is 10 nautical miles to the southwest at 6,000 feet, inbound for landing, will make right traffic for runway 15.